my loyal and intuitive Cancer friend. Hello and welcome. My name is Mina, and I'm here to offer you a 3-card reading exploring the themes of you, your path, and your potential. I invite you to consider what the reading reveals about possible challenges, opportunities, and personal growth for the week ahead. Take a deep breath, rest your mind, and let's see what the cards have to share with you today. In Cancer, there is a hush under the surface this week, a feeling you know well. It's the sense that comfort and longing can live in the same breath. You may find yourself looking at the soft places in your life and noticing a subtle ache, not loud but persistent like a quiet tide. There's pride in what you've built, but also a gentle question stirring behind your eyes. Is there something more waiting for you, just beyond what feels safe? Perhaps you've been holding your breath, keeping emotions tucked away out of habit or self-protection. The world moves around you, and yet deep inside you're aware of a quiet tension, the difference between satisfaction and fulfillment. This week opens with that feeling of being grateful yet curious, content yet quietly restless. You may not have spoken it aloud, but you sense the shift like the faint scent of rain before the storm. There's no crisis, only the weight of unasked questions and the hope that somehow you'll find the courage to meet them. The 9 of Pentacles appears in your story, almost like a gentle mirror. It reflects back the reality of where you stand, surrounded by comforts you've worked for, accomplishments that didn't come easily. There's a grace in your solitude, an appreciation for the routines that bring you peace. You know how to make a space feel like home, how to gather calm around you like a soft blanket. Friends may see you as self-sufficient, even quietly enviable, but there is more happening within. Underneath this composed exterior, there's an unspoken longing, a desire to share, connect, or reach beyond the well-tended boundaries you've set. It's not dissatisfaction so much as a gentle stirring, the sense that your heart wants to stretch further than your current comforts allow. You may notice yourself savoring small pleasures, then feeling a pang of loneliness or yearning just after. It's subtle, but it lingers. In moments of quiet, you might glance around your world and wonder what's missing, even when everything appears in order. This inner state is not one of lack, but of readiness, a readiness that grows with each passing day. You feel the weight of what you've built and recognize its beauty, but you also sense an invitation to step forward, to risk a little vulnerability. There might be unspoken worries about what happens if you open up more, about whether your contentment could be disturbed. These are quiet fears, almost respectful, but they sit beside your hope, waiting to see which will speak louder. This week, your emotional posture is one of poised anticipation. You are steady, but your gaze is drifting toward the horizon, searching for a new kind of fulfillment, even if you're not sure what form it might take. From this place of quiet readiness, the path ahead begins to take shape. The very comfort you've nurtured becomes the ground from which new questions grow. The longing you feel doesn't undermine your achievements. It propels you to wonder, to seek, to listen for the call of something more. The tension between satisfaction and yearning creates momentum, gently pushing you out of familiar patterns and into the unknown. It's the natural next step, when inner contentment becomes the foundation for outer change, and when the stirrings of your heart start to shape the choices you face. The week unfolds under the presence of judgment, bringing with it a current you can feel but not quite steer. There's a sense of reckoning, not in the dramatic sense, but more like a realization that quietly insists on being heard. Events may arise that seem to demand your attention, moments that make you pause and reflect on where you've been and where you want to go. There's a pressure to acknowledge truths you've kept tucked away, to respond to the subtle call for growth. Conversations may surface that carry more weight than usual, or decisions might feel more significant, as if something deeper is at stake. The world around you seems to echo your inner questions, amplifying the friction between comfort and awakening. Opportunities for change may appear, but they are not handed to you. They require a willingness to look honestly at yourself. This is not about leaving everything behind. It's about recognizing what has run its course and what still asks to be lived. The momentum builds quietly through reflection, through honest self-inquiry, through the bravery of admitting what you really want. You may feel torn between holding on to what is known and answering the call to step into something less certain. The friction is real, but it is not destructive. It is the energy of transformation, asking you to notice what is stirring within and around you. As the week progresses, you may feel the weight of expectations, your own and those of others. There's a gentle but persistent nudge. Are you willing to listen to your deeper self, even if it means changing course? The choice is not forced, but it is present, waiting for your conscious engagement. The invitation that arises here is not automatic. Growth and potential depend on how honestly you face what is surfacing. The path is shaped by your willingness to respond, to allow discomfort to have a voice, and to trust that your readiness is enough. Only by meeting the moment can new possibilities unfold. It is the act of looking inward, staying with what is real, that allows true change, however small, to take root. Here the Three of Swords appears not as a threat but as a quiet doorway. It invites you to witness the parts of your heart that have been tender, perhaps even wounded by past disappointments or losses. There is an opportunity now, not to avoid pain, but to acknowledge it as part of your living story. In doing so, something softens. Growth becomes possible when you allow yourself to feel fully, rather than turning away from what hurts. This isn't about reliving sadness, but about granting yourself permission to grieve what didn't go as planned, to honor the ache that lingers at the edges of hope. In this space, healing isn't a promise but an invitation to reconnect with yourself, to understand your own heart more deeply, to find meaning in the places that once felt empty. By meeting sorrow without judgment or haste, you create room for new understanding and compassion. This week, your potential emerges from your willingness to be present with your own vulnerability, to see beauty in your scars, and to know that every feeling has its place. The invitation is gentle. Can you hold space for every part of your experience, even the difficult ones? As you do, you may find that what once felt heavy becomes lighter, and that your capacity for love, both for yourself and others, expands quietly, almost effortlessly. Growth here isn't loud or sudden. It's the slow, steady unfolding that happens when you welcome your whole self into the light. Looking across the week, the story of these three cards weaves together with a kind of quiet wisdom. You begin in a place of earned comfort, surrounded by the fruits of your effort, yet aware of a subtle longing for more. This longing isn't a flaw, it's the gentle nudge toward growth. As the days unfold, you are met with moments that ask you to look honestly at what you want and who you are becoming. The pressures you feel aren't here to overwhelm you, but to help you recognize what is true in your heart. When you bravely allow yourself to acknowledge both satisfaction and sorrow, you begin to notice how intertwined they are. The path forward is not about abandoning what you've built, nor is it about ignoring what aches inside. It's about holding both, allowing them to teach you, and trusting that your readiness to grow will guide you through. The week closes with the reassurance that every feeling has its place, and that by meeting yourself with honesty and compassion, you create space for quiet transformation. You are not alone in your longing or your healing. There is a steadiness at your core, waiting patiently as you discover new layers of who you are. The journey this week is gentle, intimate, and deeply human, a reminder that your heart is both shelter and compass, capable of holding comfort and change at once. Actionable insights for Cancer this week. This week's emotional theme invites you to let both gratitude and longing sit side by side. You could try letting yourself savor a familiar comfort, noticing what feelings arise as you do. If an old feeling surfaces, you could gently sit with it for a moment without rushing it away. Let yourself pause and breathe before making any decisions that feel heavy. Spoken word affirmations to repeat aloud for a more positive mindset. I am gentle with every feeling that visits. My comfort and my longing both belong here. I honor the parts of me that still ache. With each breath I become more whole. And now, dear friend, I thank you for giving me your time. I truly hope I have given you something helpful in return. Goodbye and good luck until next time.